Well, good evening, everyone watching and joining us on the Didsbury YouTube channel for this cup match. It's a second 11 cup match tonight, with Didsbury entertaining Hale Barns. Didsbury in the second 11 Premier Division, and Hale Barns 2 divisions below. And the immediate news is that Hale Barns have been asked to field. Didsbury won the toss and have chosen to bat. And we're just waiting for the Didsbury batsmen to emerge to show themselves. A T20 match this, and we're playing with a pink ball, so hopefully you'll be able to pick that up nice and easily on your screens. 20 overs aside. Might sound obvious saying it's a T20 match, but they have been playing reduced overs games in the early rounds in the first 11 competition because of the evening light. So tonight we've got full 20 overs with 6 overs of power play. That's just 2 players allowed outside the fielding circle. I know you can't see many on your screen, but they're all there, as far away as they can be. We're going to have Yunus Saeed from this Parswood end opening the bowling, and batting for Didsbury at that far end with the number 11 in his back is Hale Barns, and Marcus Fisher, the non-striker. Seeing Goldstone, the umpire at this end. Haven't seen Ian in a while. It's good to see him tonight. Let's get my just looking around. We haven't had a signal. Oh, we're back to the umpires, right out the window. Sorry, I'm just talking to my young scoring colleague Charlie here as we're about to get underway, and off we go with the first ball. We'll start. Details on the screen, and they should come up now. So just the one ball. Again. So lovely evening this evening. It's a little bit breezy, but it's a lovely bright evening. All sides have done very well to get here for 6 o'clock to get started, get the maximum amount of time. That's edged just wide of the diving slip, and we raced away for 4 runs to Hale Barns. Flash very hard there, and of course on this outfield at Didsbury it will just absolutely fly away. So good start on the scoreboard, but the bowler will be encouraged by that as Yunus comes in again, and that's clipped beautifully through mid-wicket. There's fielder in pursuit out there. I think that was Junaid Iqbal after the ball, but he couldn't stop it either, and that's another 4. So successive 4s for Hale Barns. And that's pushed out to the cover boundary, but there's a fielder there, so that's just a single for Hale Barns. So it's total now 9, and last ball of the over. Just one ball left for Marcus Fisher to face. Good end to the over. Yorker, so 9 off the first over. All 9 to Hashir Khan. And I've been told, let's confirm this, Charlie, this should be Charles Mills for the second over. And it will be Charles Mills from the Fletcher Moss end. He's under 18s player. And he's getting ready to bowl to Hashir Khan. He's got where is his man out? He's got one man out, sort of deep square leg. And he looks like the only man out. I think all the others are in the circle. Oh no, we've got Saeed's coming down to fine legs just out of our view out of the window. So 8 in the circle as Mills comes in bowling to Hashir Khan, and he's got hold of that beautifully, but straight to the cover fielder, Hashir, so no run. Already striking the ball nicely. Hashir, he played well on Saturday. And he's had a good season so far. Looking to build on that tonight. All these fielding restrictions. He's punched that nicely through a gap in the covers. Fielder after it in pursuit, but it looks like he's given it. Goodness me, he's given it. He didn't have a look like catching it, to be honest. And he only just pushed it, really, Hashir, but that has rocketed away to the extra cover boundary. Let's go to 13. Super start for Hashir. Next ball in. Thought about a run, but that's gone to square leg. Well fielded. That's Junaid Iqbal fielding the ball there. And the throw picked up. That is James Fullerton Batten, I think, at backward point. Smells in again, and Hashir moving down the pitch to the ball. Pushes away for a single. Fullerton Batten fielding again, stopping the ball. Just a single. So score on to 14. Good start for Didsbury. Brings Marcus Fisher down on strike. Still is the 2 men out. The deep square leg hasn't moved, and the fine leg, so anything pitched just too full will get the treatment, I suspect. That's just too full, but nicely bowled and fielded by the young man. Straight back at him. Last ball of the over. Fisher carefully behind it and in. So 5 off that over, and it's probably 14 off 2. I'll be quite happy with that start. All the runs to Hashir Khan. As Yunus Saeed comes in for his second over. 4 overs a bowler, of course, in this competition. It's pretty happy with this start. So again, the 2 men out for Hale Barns, the fine leg and sweeper on the cover boundary. Everybody else in the circle, 3 on the off, 3 on the on. And traditional fielders, Yunus Saeed is in. Hashir advancing down the pitch. Yunus saw him coming there, just dug it in a little bit, and no run. It's down the leg side. A bit of hesitation. They've decided to go, and Hashir is still halfway down the pitch here. That went to square leg, where Junaid Iqbal fielded, stumbled, and there was a bit of hesitation, but they've come through for one in the end, rather than tidy single, but a single nonetheless. So Marcus Fisher on strike. Under edge that. Wicket keeper's Khalid Winter did well to stop that. Sprawling down to his left, gets a pat on the gloves from James Fullerton Batten. Sanjeev Bhatia next to him at slip, the only close fielder. Coming down the pitch, Marcus Fisher, but still can't get past the man with extra cover. And Fisher away this time. He's just pushed that out to the sweeper. So a single. And the end of the over. Just two off it. Good over from Yunus Saeed. 2 for 11 for him, as you can see. Didsbury 16 off 3. Here's Mills in to Marcus Fisher down the wicket and flicking that out. That's the man in the deep that they're allowed on the leg side mid wicket, fielding there. So another single for Marcus Fisher, who's doing the right thing, at least getting off strike. Snudging the single. Mills in again. Hashir advancing. That's down the leg side. It's going to be wided. First wide of the night. It is very difficult skill for these bowlers to master. Everything will be called wide going down the leg side, and every no ball will be a free hit, the umpires have informed me. So no room for error, and that's scooped up over the top. There's nobody down there. Hashir has taken that. It's gone for 4. 4 runs to Hashir Khan. Hit it into the could probably have run 5, to be honest, if it had slowed up. It's a long boundary down there, but no fielder, and no chance of anybody stopping that. Once he'd scooped it over backward point. There's Mills in again, and that's a better ball, but they've that's going to be a leg by. Well called through by Marcus Fisher. Didsbury be wanting to put a score on here. They are, as I said earlier, 2 divisions above Hale Barns in the second 11 competition. So it's a tall order for visitors. That's a lovely shot from Marcus Fisher. A lovely shot. Flicked it over, square leg, high over the head of Junaid Iqbal. 1 bounce for 4. And absolutely no margin for error for the young man, Mills. And hit very hard now, straight down the ground, and you can see that on your screens, going for another 4. 4 more for Fisher. He's starting to find his range now. Just correct the score. So we get to the end of the over, so apologies for the confusion with the score, but it's 32. The score after 4 overs. 16 coming from that over, expensive one. Still for 20, so we're going to have a change of bowler at this Barneswood end, and I'm informed that this will be so yes, we're going to have Alex Castle to bowl his 5th over to Hashir Khan. He's on 19, and that's going to be a wide. Just into the and another wide. Not a good start to the over. He's nudged that nicely, Hash. Got an easy 2 off their first ball. And Didsbury moving on to 36. Still 5 balls to go in the over. Nudged it down the leg side, called through for the single. And Didsbury very pleased with his start. 37 for none. Just in the 5th over. Things are already looking rather ominous for Hale Barns, but a way to go yet. Still just the 2 men out on either side of the wicket, one on the deep square leg boundary and one at sweeper, but neither of them needed that. It's a lovely ball. It's defended carefully by Fisher. And that's too short. He's cut that away, but very well fielded. Fullerton batting. A deep backward point there, just on the 30-yard circle. If you can see the discs on the screen, but that's where he is. Fisher down the pitch, drags that a little bit, and he shanked that out. It's only going to be a single. Dunleavy fielding right up there on the deep mid-wicket boundary. Scored at 38. With 1 ball to come. And that's 2-4, and that's hit beautifully. Not too hard by Hashir Khan. But a lovely end to the over, just pushed it through the gap and knew as soon as he hit it he would get 4 for it, which he did. So a lovely end to the 5th over for Hashir and for Didsbury. 42 now off 5 overs, still 1 over left of power play with just the 2 fielders out. Hashir already on 226. Just getting the umpire chatting over to us. Check something. So just clearing up a scoring query. We're happy with what we've got in here, and this is going to be the captain. We thought it was going to be the captain, Jack Wiley, but just having a quick check. It's Ross Dunleavy, I'm informed. Charlie, the Hale Barns scorer, he's going to come in and bowl to Marcus Fisher. Oops, and that's a bit high. And it's called no ball and 6. So the worst possible start for Ross Dunleavy. No ball, hit for 6. That's going to be a free hit as well. Can't change the field.
Has he given it? James, you take that 6, yeah?
And he's landed that one, but Fisher has just spooned it through mid-wicket. Well, that's 50 partnership for the first wicket for Didsbury, and just 5.1 overs.
It was 42 to be fair, he must have done.
50 already on the board in the power play. It's an excellent start. That's Hashir Khan's on strike. And he's hit that powerfully. I think he's not as powerful as it looked. I don't know if there's a deflection on that, but it's only a single to him. I thought it was going to go a lot further the way he swung at it, but just 1. Two fielders out again at sweeper, deep cover on the offside and deep square leg on the leg side, but everybody else within that 30-yard circle, so lots of spaces to aim at for both batsmen. Marcus has picked out the man at square leg, no run. Junaid Iqbal lurking there. And again picking out the man now, this time at mid-off. Looks like Charles Mills there. But, either way, it was a good stop, no run. Just out of shot. Well, that's hiked a little bit, but he's going to get a couple here. That's gone through the gap. And Hashir having to move a little, but gets there. A couple for Marcus Fisher, and the last ball of the over. Again, that's hit beautifully. That's gone through the gap. And again, it's going to be 4 runs to finish the over. Hit that beautifully through the extra cover gap there. So that's the power play done, and Hale Barns will breathe a sigh of relief. That's a terrific start for Didsbury. 57 for none. 6 overs. I made that over, but the umpires have allowed 1 more. We're going to get a single. Right, so that is the end of the over now. Single. So I think we've got a 7 bowler there, I think, gentlemen, but there we are. That's over as called. So 58 of 6 overs. A great start in the power play for Didsbury. Both batsmen into the 20s and going well. I'm going to have a quick break to sanitise hands. It's an opportunity for the Didsbury boys to run a drink on very quickly if they were thinking, but they weren't. Groundsman, you might be able to pick up on the effects, Mike. I apologise. He's had a long day. Is that his second or his third one now? I shall have a word, viewers, don't worry. We shall restore the standards of our broadcasting here at Didsbury as soon as we're able. So still taking a little bit too long for my liking these breaks, even in this T20 competition where there is a time limit on the overs, 75 minutes. The team is supposed to have to bowl. I've taken a couple already, I think. So I think we're about ready to restart. We're going to have Alex Castle. He's just organising his field. Now they can put men out, of course. The first 6 overs bowled. So ready to go again. Alex Castle in, and Fisher just dabbing the ball away for a single. Fielded by Alex Castle there at deep backward point. So we've got 5 men in the circle now. Sandy Batch is coming right back. Just trying to see where everybody is. Sashir aims big. Puts it into his pad. We've got Andrew Willis on the deep cover boundary, and then 2 men way back on the leg side, Yunis Said at deep square, and James Bulletin back at deep mid wicket. And there's also a man to be a shot here at long on. That is Hopper fielding the ball, and that's a single for Hashir. The score moves to 60. We're very pleased with his start. Castle trying to keep it as tight as he can, but that's gone past the fielder, and it's going to be 4 runs. It's gone past young Castle at backward point, and just to the left of him, but the outfield is so quick here. As soon as it's past the fielder, you are struggling, and the batsman knew that as well. And Marcus Fisher moves on to 30 now. Steady start. He's really opening his shoulders. He's got a single down here. 2 well on. On to the score, 65 for no loss. Ball left of this 7th over. Castle to Hashir Khan, who just defends the ball, nicely bowled. And that's the end of the 7th. Didsbury going along very nicely, nearly 10 runs and over. And you can see this partnership, both scored equally, both faced a similar number of deliveries as well. And that's pretty much the perfect opening partnership. That is over, gentlemen. I don't know what we're discussing here, but that is over. He's having a little chat with the batsman, umpire Ingolston. Parth Kapoor is at the far end, the Fletcher Moss end. Both good County League umpires. I've stood with both of these gentlemen in different games over the years. Done courses with them as well. And they're looking forward to this evening as well, enjoying their part in proceedings. So Roston Levy's going to continue. Again, just sorting his field out. There's no one back behind the bowler. So all the men in front of the bat. So he's going to pitch the ball up Fisher's hit that deep in the outfield. It's going to be fielded, but an easy 2. Fearless to come right round from long off. That's it to deep extra cover, so an easy 2 for Marcus Fisher. Oh, bit of a disagreement, but Marcus Fisher rightly calling no. I was always taught that calling was a simple thing. If you hit the ball in front, it's your call. And quite rightly there, Fisher decided no run. That's the result. That's too short. She's trying to pull it. He's found the gap in the outfield. He's only got to get a single. Oop, that's badly misfielded, I'm afraid. Almost went for 4. Willis, the culprit down there. Bit of a stumble fumble. So 2 runs for Fisher. He's now on to 35. It's 27 balls faced, as you can see. And this good start for Didsbury continues. And that's going to be 6, I think. That's gone quite a way. Maybe, yeah, it's gone for 6. It has gone the distance. I wasn't sure if it was just going to pitch inside. Fairly long boundary down there, but that's a second 6 that Dunleavy has conceded. Unfortunately for him. And his figures reflecting that. He's struggling to find his length. The ball's gone into the car park, so there'll be a slight delay here. And again, I never understand. There's an opportunity for Didsbury just to get a drink on for the batsman quickly, not to waste any time. But their colleague's not thinking. I think we're managing to find the ball in the depths of the shrubbery, the bottom end of the car park. It's a fairly long hit down there, and a good one. Fisher's second 6, and the score rattles up to 75. Maybe still 2 balls to think about in this over. So what's he got in reply? He's got 3 men back now on the boundary in front of the wicket, and that's hit straight to the fielder at backward point. James Fullerton batting there, stopping any run. It's sort of a deep mid-wicket, a wide long on, and a long off as well as the sweeper on the cover boundary. It's a big field, this, to try and defend when it's this quick. Extra cover has got a lot of work to do if it goes in his direction, and that's where he was aiming, and Fullerton Battens dived and just missed it. Oh, just missed it. That's going to go for 4. A great diving effort, but to no avail for Hale Barns. 4 for Marcus Fisher. And the end of the 8th over, and 79 for none, the Didsbury score. Fisher on to 45. Asher, who's been a little becalmed on the last couple of overs, not faced much of the bowling. First one of the last 9 balls bowled. And Hale Barns with some work to do. We're going to see Castle continue. He's bowled pretty well. 2 overs to 17 is good going in these conditions. With the field spread far and wide, they don't play this sort of competition very often. This is the first go for both sides in T20 format this year, and it is a tough school to suddenly adjust to it. Just looking at the field, we've got a long off, a deep mid wicket, a deep square leg, and a man on the sweeper boundary. And as Castle comes in, and as she hits it too well fielded at mid off. Was that the captain? That's the captain, Jack Riley there. At mid off. Off that first ball, but that's thought too short, but no. Pitched well, Asher missed the shot. So a couple of dots for Castle, pitching it up nicely, getting the length just right. Asher's called for 2, but he's only going to get 1 there. There's never 2 there. The fielder coming in. So just the single for him. Brings Marcus Fisher down onto strike. He's played in first and second this year, Marcus. Very fit. Loves this cricket and he's batting very well, actually. Having said that, not one of his better shots, but he'll take the single. Using Charles Mills Fields there at short fine leg. Score moving on to 81. And that's hit again to extra cover. Sanjeev Bhatia, the fielder, no run. That's a very good over from Alex Castle, just 2 from it at the moment. With 1 ball to come. He'll be delighted with this. And that's pushed away. Might be a couple here if they can do that. Junaid Iqbal, the fielder, can't prevent 2. But that's just 4 runs off the over. And that's a very good effort indeed from Castle in the circumstances. Well bowled him. 9 overs bowled, 83 the Didsbury score. You can see there, Castle 3 overs for 21. That is a very good effort. Believe you me, in these conditions, it's hot, it's dry, the outfield is very quick. And he's bowled splendidly. Not surprisingly though, Ross Dunleavy struggling at the other end, 2 overs for 30, so the captain's taken over. Jack Wiley is going to bowl from the Fletcher Moss end. Marcus Fisher, 1 hit away from a half century. A very good effort for him, but let's see, here comes Wiley in, right arm over, and just pops it onto a length. Fisher strokes it away easily. Fielded by Andrew Hopper, coming across from extra cover, that's a single. And 4 men out, the sweeper, long off, and well, that's deep. Mid-wicket really, and deep square leg. And then out for the captain. Sashi has driven it, and he's got it through the gap. Now they could run 2 or 3 here if they wanted, but they're just, as you can see, just strolling too. Sashi is strolling too. Could have perhaps pushed for 3, but decided 2 is enough for that delivery. 86 for no wicket to score. Now that's hit hard, but straight out to the man on the sweeper boundary, Yunus Saeed. Just a single. Fielders trying to G each other up. It's been a tough first half of the innings for them. They knew that though as soon as they lost the toss. And that's hit hard, but down to the fielder. Oops, who's juggled with it a little bit at deep mid-wicket, but that's only a single for Marcus Fisher. I've been hoping for more than that when he got hold of the ball. But well fielded. That's Dunleavy right down there. We'll get Charlie to confirm that. He's a bit further away. It was Dunleavy, yep. Wiley in. That's too short, and that's going to be wides, and they're going to run one as well. So 2 wides. Takes the score to 90. And that's the sort of thing that you can do without. It's only been 6 wides bowled in the innings. Not too bad an effort. And the sides aren't used to this strict interpretation. Second 11. And that's pitched right up, and he's got hold of that fish, and stop it. He's fielded tremendously well down there, Charles. Well, I'm ashamed you couldn't see that, because that was a terrific diving stop. The ball was travelling at some speed, and I thought he was going to struggle to get there, but he kept it to 1. A terrific diving stop by the young man, just out of shot of our cameras. But you just have to take my word for it. That was very good indeed. Very well fielded and a good effort. And given LBW. So Hashir Khan is given out. Last ball of the 10th over. He's LBW to Wiley. And he's out for 34 of 28 balls. Opening partnership of 91. A fabulous start for Didsbury. Hashir trudges off. Good effort from him though, 34 off 28. You can see that Disbury run rate has got to a very nice, healthy state as Jack Hastings, Chief Superintendent Hastings, goes out to the middle. Somebody will have to tell me, by the way, all the fuss about line of duty. I've watched a few bits of it. I just don't get it. I really don't get the fuss about it. The most incompetent, blundering display of policing imaginable, and yet everyone's raving about it. Anyway, maybe a sign of age, quite possibly. We'll get back to the cricket, and Alex Castle is going to bowl out. The looks of things, and why not? He's bowled very well indeed. 3 overs for 21. He's going to be bowling to Marcus Fisher, who's just one away from a 50. And there's plenty of room for him to place it. Junaid Iqbal's coming very close at short mid-wicket to try and just stop the little dab. But Fisher's stroked in. If it's past the fielder, which it is, it's 4. And that is 50 for Marcus Fisher with a lovely shot. His 6th 4.
Fine fish!
With 2 sixes as well. He's 35 balls for his 50. And as I say, he's had a terrific season, Marcus. Setting an example for many other players to follow. And a terrific start. He's taken his side to 95 with that boundary. And just eases that away for a single to backward point. Charles Mills the fielder, which brings Hastings onto strike. He's been playing in the second 11, Jack, looking to push his way back into the first team. A fine player. I've umpired a couple of games where he's batted beautifully. It's his first ball tonight. Confidently hit, but straight to the captain at mid-off, no run. And again, Castle keeping up this fine spell of bowling. Oh. Seems like a bit of a wind up at that and missing it completely. So 1 ball left for Alex Castle. And an excellent spell this has been from him. Hastings has whacked that. That's only going to be a single. Hopper coming round from long off. 6 off the over. Didsbury 97 for 1, and that includes Castle's spell. 4 overs for 27 for him. And he can be very pleased indeed with that. Just have a look at Alex Castle. It's 3 4s off him. Managed 10 dot balls as well in that 4 over spell. That's a very, very good effort from him. And that's the kind of bowling the other Hale Barns bowlers will want to emulate. 9 overs to bowl. The projections are looking around the 176, 180 mark at this rate. We'll do well to get that high, but looking at least past 150, which will be a lot to get. But anyway, here's the captain, Jack Wiley, trying to do something about that. Bowling to Hastings. Just straight that down the ground for a single. Fielder long off. Charles Mills throwing it back. Doing okay time-wise as well, Hale Barns. There'll be another little break after this over to do our sanitise hands. Getting through their overs. That's a full toss straight to the man and caught at deep square leg. Yeah, and now we're just confirming Andrew Willis takes the catch at deep square leg. Full toss, very inviting ball to hit, but Marcus Fisher not quite getting hold of it and caught at deep square leg. So he's out for a fine 54 off 37 balls. And the second Disbury wicket falls with a score at 98. And the players are going to do their hands now quite sensibly. They've just gone off the out of shot. Save a bit of time. And we'll do that. While Jason Jeffrey Comes to the middle. Bit of a lean season so far, Jason. Just coming into your shot now, but always full of confidence. He joins Jack Hastings. So 2 wickets in the last 3 overs, 2 in 2 overs for the captain. 2 wickets in 10 balls in total for the Hale Barns side. That'll lift them up a little bit. Jeff is going to be on strike. 4 men back still, so plenty of gaps for 1s and 2s if he can find it. And he does find the single straight away. That's going out to wide, long on. Fielding down there, is it? Oh, that's a correction. That was Dunleavy down there. My apologies. Far away. Hastings reaching for that, and he's skewed it out to backward point. No run. James Fullerton batting there out of shot, but he's done a terrific job. Saved a few runs there at backward point. And big areas to defend either side of the fielder. There's absolutely no room for error. Wiley is in, and that's an inside edge. Oof. Hastings has got away, and the fielder's dived over the ball, and I think it's going to go for 4. It has gone for 4. A bit of a sloppy cricket all round, really. Inside edge from Hastings. The fielder dived to stop the ball, dived over it, and once it was past him, 4 runs, and the Didsbury 100 up in the 12th over. Still a very healthy run rate. On course for between 150 and 160 at this rate, and that's a lot of runs. Let's see what Wiley can do. Hastings pings it off his legs for a single. That's Willis out there. Good catch earlier in the over, nice and confident. Very easy to drop those, and that you can get heads down, but he held on very well to get rid of Fisher. So we've had 12 overs, and Didsbury, as you can see there, the worm looking very healthy. 104 for 2 after 12 overs. And we're going to have a new bowler from this end. Castle bowled out, so we'll get young Charlie on identifying duties. And we're going to have Junaid Iqbal. I'm informed, and he's absolutely right. I was talking to Junaid before the game. So he's going to have a bowl. Again with 4 men out, long on, deep mid-wicket, deep square leg, and sweeper on the cover boundary. And he's bowling to Jack Hastings. As he hit that straight to Sanjeev Bhatia, so he's found the one fielder in close on the in front of square. And no run there. We've got mid-off, extra cover and backward point, and short fine leg as well. Hastings again finds the man, straight to the man at short mid-wicket. And all those wide open spaces on the leg side, he's done pretty well to pick out the same fielder twice. Oh, the umpire calling a halt from square leg. He's come across. Not happy about something, umpire Parth Kapoor. I think, that's right, he's been licking the ball. He's been licking his hand and putting it on the ball, and I think that must have umpire Parth Kapoor is signalling that the bowler, I think absent-mindedly, has been licking his hands, holding the ball. Under sanitation protocols, not supposed to do that. And the eagle eyes of Parth Kapoor. Just a quick sanitise, sort that out. Just completely absent-minded from the bowler. Of course, everyone understands that. Hastings hits it hard, just over Wiley's head. Just over mid-off's head for 4. Just over the captain at mid-off. Had his heart in his mouth for a moment there. And Wiley being a few yards back, maybe on the circle. Hastings again hits hard, and that's gone much straighter. And again, 4 more runs is the result. So successive 4s now for Jack Hastings. He'll be feeling a bit better. 15 off 12, 112 for 2. Didsbury score, and he's got that through the gap as well. 3 4s in succession. Oh, you can hear the clonk there on the scorebox, possibly as the ball thuds down in front of us. Sort of an extra cover to where Jack is. After a bit of a sketchy start, frustrating start, he's away now. Suddenly up to 19 not out. And 12 off this over for a good start for Junaid Iqbal. Oh, that's 2, that's a no ball. And that has gone for 6 again, I think. They're just getting confirmation, so it's a no ball and 6. That's the second one of those we've had. High full toss, so 7 runs in total, and what started as a good over has suddenly gone horribly wrong for Junaid Iqbal. 19 off it, still a ball to bowl, and this is a free hit as well, so Hastings will give this the beans, whatever. And he has done as well. And he's called again, it's no ball. And that is either 4 or 6. And he's going to warn him, I think, as well. It's getting worse and worse for Junaid Iqbal. We've got the no ball. We've not had a signal yet from the umpires, so we're not sure what to give. Assuming if he was warned after the first no ball, he won't be able to bowl again. Yeah, we've had it signalled as 6. So successive no balls hit for 6. So I think he's been given a final warning now. I think the first one was not called as a warning. Another free hit. Hastings has run 2. Well fielded in there, but he started with 2 dot balls, but 26 came off the remainder of that over. And that's a bit of a disaster for Junaid Iqbal, I'm afraid. 28 in total off his figures. 28 off the over indeed in total. After 2 dots to start with. 3 4s, 2 6s that were both no balls, and then a 2. So that really has deflated Hale Barns, I think.
13.
Captain's going to bowl again. He's bowled pretty well, Jack Wiley. 2 overs, 2 for 15. And he's going to have to keep on going, I think, for his team. 132 for 2. There's still 7 overs to go, right above 10 now. There's Jason Jeffrey on strike. There's his second ball, and he's going to get off strike. And so Junaid Iqbal comes round square leg to field. He's just dribbled out there on the leg side, a single. Jack Hastings has suddenly, after his first 2 off his first 6 balls, is now 33 off 16. And looking in the mood, he'll be looking for this leg side boundary, anything there, and oh, that's gone straight up in the air there, but I think it's going to be short of the fielder. Yeah, it's dropped short and spun past Charles Mills, but he's recovered okay, just to keep it to 2. Didn't get hold of that, Jack, at all. It is short of this leg side boundary. He will be eyeing that up. Trying to keep it as tight as possible. Down the ground, maybe going for 2 again if they can. It's up to Jeffrey this time if he wants to run to the danger end. Yeah, it's going to be another double. 31 off the last 7 deliveries. That's a very expensive little spell. Still halfway through, Hastings hitting hard. That's going to be again. Charles Mills been very busy down there. That's another 2 well run from Jason Jeffrey running to the danger end. So 35 off the last 10 balls now. Didsbury race up to 139. Hastings almost into the 40s. And that's gone. 6 more for Hastings. I think you probably saw all of that on the screen. Sounded very nice. And Jack Hastings, a third 6 for him. As I say, he had 2 off his first 6 balls. So 43 off his next 14. That's gone into the business park at the far end through the iron railing. So we're just getting the ball retrieved. Fortunately, there's somebody passing through. They can just pass the ball back instead of the fielders having to try and scale fences or whatever. That saved a bit of time. Partnership already up to 47 of just 17 balls. As Hastings again powers that down. There could be another 2 here if Jeffrey's in the mood, and he is. He's going to go for the danger end, and that's again excellent running. Unselfish running, Jason Jeffrey. He's going to the danger end, so another expensive over 15 off it. 43 off has come off the last 2 overs, and I made that over. That's over. Just checking here. We think we've been signalled 1 short. We're just checking that with the umpires. Just had confirmation from the umpire that last was going to be called 1 short. So just a short run, so only a single. Just correct the score. Not the clearest signal in the world, but we've got it in the end. That's the important thing. So it's 146 for 2. So that's just 42 off the last 2 overs. Yeah, I agree with young Charles. The Hale Barns scorer, Andrew Hopper, is going to come on for over 15. But we've got Jason Jeffrey on strike because the batsman ran short in the previous over. So that's all correct now. Hastings 46 off 21. Jeffrey 2 off just 2 balls. He's done a lot of running. First only 2 balls himself, but they've put 48 on, these 2, off just 18 deliveries. And that really has taken Didsbury just about out of sight already, and I feel Jeffrey's hit that beautifully through mid-wicket. That's well fielded. Oh! It's gone for 4 in front of me as the captain, a desperate effort there. He was on the run, trying to stop the ball, stooping down, he stumbled over. And that 4 brings up the 150 for Didsbury. 16th 4 of the innings to go with 5 sixes. Hopper's first ball went for 4. Yeah, second ball. Oh, it's better for him, a dot ball. Not had one of those for a few balls. 12 balls since the last dot. This gives an idea of how quickly Didsbury has scored and already put a formidable score together, and still power to add. Jeffrey just nudging out to the leg side for a single. Sanjeev Bhatia patrolling there. It's much deeper now at mid-wicket, just trying to keep it to 1. Didsbury in complete control here now. Hastings 46 off 21. Next that 47 off 22. Just pushing it down. And this time the captain can get down and just keep it to 1. It's coming off the long off boundary. Goodish over from Andrew Hopper. The first ball went for 4, and then it's just 3 off the next 3 so far. So tidy effort. Want to keep that going, but that's a lovely shot. He's glided that straight down in the gap between back point and short third man. And 4 runs the result. Absolutely raced away. 50 partnership is well up now, by the way. I should have said earlier in the over. 58 these 2 have put on now after 23 balls. And that really has, as I say, taken Didsbury to a very strong position. They should not lose from here. But they'll want to finish off well. Get some confidence. Some runs behind them in this format. That's another single down the ground. Jeffrey to the captain Wiley at long off. And the end of the over. 11 off it in the end. 157 for 2. We've still got 5 overs to go. Sure, that'll feel like a long time. You can see the Hale Barns bowlers there. They've all taken a bit of treatment. Alex Castle bowled very, very well. He's 4 overs for 27. And Jack Wiley's bowled pretty well too. 2 for 29 off 3. He hasn't done a lot wrong either. It's just a very unforgiving ground. It's been so warm. Pitch is in great condition. Jack Wiley said to me when he came off, having lost the toss, it was an absolute road. And the outfield so quick. Let's see what he can do with his last over. Bowling to Jason Jeffrey, who's just pushed that down to long off for a single. Scored a 158. And the partnership now 60 off just 25 balls. That really is a killer. So for Hale Barns, but wonderful for Didsbury is Hastings. Gone down the leg side is a wide ball. Oh, a stump there. But wide called. Can be stumped off a wide, of course. But not on this occasion. Hastings just getting his balance back. He's pinged that straight again to Sanji Bhatt, who's in there. He's just a few runs at mid-wicket. And ensuring that's another dot ball. Hastings, plenty of gaps to aim at if the ball's in the right areas, as he was doing there. He was looking over extra cover. There's just the man in it. Extra cover, Andrew Hopper, and there's absolutely nobody near him. There's a sweep on the cover boundary, and it's Yunus Saeed and Charles Mills down at wide, long off. A huge area to aim for. And anything offside, I think that's where Hastings is trying to go, but that's, oh, straight back at the ball, goodness. Oh, that was hit very hard indeed. And every credit to the bowler. Getting himself in the way, stopping the ball. I think he's felt that, as you can see. Yeah, that will have hurt. I still think these pink balls are harder than the red balls. They certainly travel back at you. And he'll be grimacing there. But captain setting the example, coming in again. And Hastings has had a huge wipe and just short of James Fullerton batting. But his throw has gone wide. The bowler couldn't get back, still nursing that throbbing hand, I think. And Hastings has ended up with 2. Well, he should only have got 1. James Fullerton batting there, deep backward point, stopped the ball, threw it in, but the bowler had just stopped again, just feeling his hand. You can't blame him. Nobody backing up. So 2 runs for Hastings. He's on 49 now, and he's gone to 50 with a 6. That's huge. That is huge. Nearly at my car. 6 runs for Hastings. A great shot. And he's gone to 50 off just 27 balls. Remember, 2 off his first 6. So that's 50. The next 53 off 21 balls. 4 6s and 4 4s for Jack Hastings, and that's just a sample of what he can do and how dangerous he is. He's a very good player for the seconds to have in their team, and he's taken the score up to 167 for 2 with still 4 overs to bowl. You might have heard the wicket-keeper Khalid Winter shouting there to his players to get these overs bowled. So there is a strict time limit for 2020 cricket, 75 minutes. You've got to be bowling the 20th over by the time that 75 minutes comes round. The umpires may make some allowances. There's 1 or 2 lost in the undergrowth. It'd be very harsh, I think, to dock them because it's not their fault having to try and get the ball back. Now another slight delay as the bowler is asking the umpire to look at the ball, but umpire Goldstone just says you might as well use that one still, mate. So we've got 4 overs to go. Jeffrey on strike, he's on 13 as Hopper is in, and he's side that one out. That's Andrew Willis on the sweeper boundary, keeps it to 1. Another piece of fielding. Didsbury to 168. This partnership now 70. just 31 balls. Hastings hitting hard. I think that's come for 4, has it? Yeah. You should be doing that, young man. Come on. Get young Charlie to signal there for me. When he's on the scoreboard. 4 runs. Jack Hastings boomed that through extra cover. Timed it beautifully. He's raced to 59. So Hopper is in again. Short that time. He's slashed at the ball. It's gone for 6. That way. And again, not hit cleanly, but hit well enough with that short boundary. I say cleanly. It would have sailed out of the ground if he did it cleanly, but you only need to get some bat on it, swing hard, and it travelled for 6. 78 for 2 as Hopper's in again. Hastings just going to swing now. He's going to push that out for 1. James Fullerton batting coming in from off to keep it to 1. Hastings goes to 66. There's 2 balls to go in this over. 12 from it. And Jeffrey's got away with that one. Get 4 runs with we'll call that the Emerson, that shot. Aiming through cover, getting the inside edge to fine leg. Played many of those in my time. As he moves on to 18. So he's played a much greater role on that, Jason Jeffrey, because the partnership is 85 now, just 36 balls. Huge partnership for this second wicket. There's a rare dot ball to finish the over. There's 16 from it. Didsbury showing no signs of letting up. 3 overs to go. They're 183 for 2. Already, I suspect, way out of sight in terms of the match. Scoring it over 10 and over. As Yunus Saeed is going to come back from the far end. He bowled 2 overs for 11 at the start. Pretty well. He's switched ends now. Yunus. And he's going to look to limit the damage as much as possible. Didsbury captain Ryan Wilson standing in front of us here, having a look. Looks a bit pensive, Ryan. I don't know what for. A huge score already. Jack Hastings on strike. His first ball from side. He's walloped back into the gap. 4 more runs through the mid-wicket gap. Anything short is going to get the treatment. Hastings races on to 70 now, just 31 balls. Superb acceleration from him. So he's going to come back. It's a bit too full that time. Again. 4 more. And I think Hastings is set up the way he's going to play now. His 7th 4 to go with 5 6s, 74 off 32 balls. Partnership 93 of just 39 balls. Ideal T20 stuff for Didsbury. So that's well bowled. Well bowled, nice and full. Hastings on the march, and that was a leg bye. So it's the damage off that delivery. But still, this huge score continues to mount. Jason Jeffrey facing, and that's going to be another leg bye. Oh no, it's not even. Well stopped. Khalid Winter. Well, he threw there at the stumps. That was out by a long way. But unfortunately for him, he missed. Great effort to stop the ball, because it wasn't easy to do that. And then he got a throw in as well, but just missed the stumps. But it's a dot ball, so that'll do. And that's an edge onto the pad. Jason Jeffrey just taking the 1. Hastings back on strike for the last ball of the over. 193 for 2. Side is in, and that's down the leg side. It's going to be a wide. I hear the call from umpire Parth Kapoor. 2 wides there. Unlucky on the bowler. It wasn't that far down the leg side. It was definitely not a a league wide, as it were. Rather a wide in a league match, but the unforgiving nature of T20 means he has to bowl it again. And Jeffrey gets hold of it. Sanji Pandya, Bhatia, beg your pardon, has misfielded for the first time. They've got two mid-wicket. That's a bit unfortunate. But a good over for Didsbury. 14 off it in total. We've got 2 overs to bowl, and I think we're going to be okay time-wise. Yeah, I make it 7 or 8 now. But you can see that worm climbing and climbing. And Didsbury on course at the moment for over 200. And the acceleration has been absolutely phenomenal for them. Andrew Hopper is going to really bowl the next over, but 94 off the last 6 overs, and that's another 6. Partnership up with that 6. Goodness me. And the Didsbury 200. 203, but they were 105 or 46 balls now, and Hastings is up himself over 4 or 6. 6 more, I think. Let's go for 6 over the leg side boundary. Way away from us in the distance, but Joe completely losing his line here. He's pitched up 2 full, not driven, and then a full bummer. And the punishment continues. So Hastings has found the gap this time as well. It's going to be 4 more. There's nobody out there. Get round. 4 more, and Hastings will be eyeing up 100. And Chief Super has certainly done his line of duty tonight. 90 of 36 balls. The groundsman's looking impressed at that. 213 for 2. He's clubbed that a little down the ground. That's only going to be 1 though. Jack Wiley, the fielder, he's set that a bit too high up the bat. And an appeal, might as well appeal, Khaled Winter. But this has been an absolute massacre. It's turned into, unfortunately, Hale Barns kept it fairly tight within reason, but Hastings and Jeffrey have just taken it completely away. And that's wide ball. Again, the unforgiving nature. T20. Andrew Hopper has to do that again. Jeffrey is hit hard. James Fuller at the bat, and he's going to get 2. That's very good run by the batsman. They've got 2. It's the end of the 19th over. And it's with 217 for 2. Partnership 119. 51 balls. They don't count the wides. No, and they should, because they count towards runs in the partnership. But that's a magnificent effort by these two. Jason Jeffrey, 23 off 16. Much second fiddler, but he's been happy to play that role, and he's run really well for his partner Jack Hastings. It's 91 of 37 balls as the last over starts. And Saeed has done it. He's dinked it out to mid-wicket. And Andrew Willis looked like he might misfield there, but he didn't. He kept it to 1. Again, that's wided down the leg side. So the batsman coming, trying to fire it in at his pads, but just fractionally wrong, and the wide call. So did that one again, Yunus Saeed, and again it's going to be wided. They've run as well, so that's 2 wides. So let's go to 221 for 2, and big interest for Didsbury, of course. Now Jack Hastings on 92, 5 balls left in this over. There's a deep mid-wicket, wide, long on, long off. That's gone wide of him, and umpire Path Kapoor shakes his head and says, no, you're not having another one for that. Saying it again. Hastings hit in. Oh, he's picked out mid-wicket that time. And Sanjeev Bhatia there. So, single off the first ball, and then 3 wides and 2 dots. So not quite the last over to bear in mind at the moment. 3 balls to go. What can Hastings do with this one? It's a slower ball, and he's blasted it down the ground. I think he's going to get 2 though. Roston Levy's come right round. Put a lot of ground there to keep that to 2. Well done by him. 2 runs onto the total. 223. Absolutely massive score from Didsbury. No question they're out of sight, I think, already, but Let's see what can happen with these last 2 balls. Hastings has pulled it, but Willis has... I thought again, a little bit of butterfingers on the boundary, but kept it to 1. And 1 it is. So just the last ball. So unless we get a run off a wide or something. We'll see what happens, but it's going to be a curiously a dot ball to finish the over and the Didsbury innings. And Didsbury have finished on 224 for 2. An absolutely huge score. Jack Hastings coming off 95 not out, 42 balls, 7 sixes and 8 fours for him. And as we said before, he only had 2 off his first 6 balls. So that's 95 of 36 deliveries effective. So correction, 93 of 36 deliveries effectively. Jason Jeffrey 23 of 17, but the partnership 126 of 60 balls. They took 121 the last 8 overs as the Hale Barns bowlers really started to suffer. Marcus Fisher's 50, Ashley Garn's 34 earlier, that opening partnership. 91, setting Didsbury on their way. And wrapped up a huge total, 224 for 2 of 20 overs. The different stats will appear, bowling figures there for you. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes with innings number 2.
Saw the fans at home.
Bit permanent, it's not that. That's like proper dog ball.
Yeah, throw it into the ground at every possible opportunity.
That's unbelievable. They gave me another new ball bowler. Hey,
Throw
Stoke, it was like,
yes,
what?
throw the ball into the board as much as possible in the T20. You don't live for all that. We'll use that. Use that.
What's 2 out?
Third man and foul corner. No way, there's no way going straight on you. Yeah, third man and pulled it. Third man, right. The ball straight on that. For this, you do deep extra. Just ride it, start off with. Who wants to drop down? You drop down third. Raz puts the first down. Cover back there, square leg, cover. You're all right.
So we're about ready to go for the second innings. Matthew Laker is going to bowl. He's going to bowl to Alex Castle. Wide ball to start with. So underway with the wide. And then just one run. Going to third man. Past the bat. Which better start for Matthew Laker, bowling to James Fullerton Batten. Laker coming in from the Fletcher Moss end in bowls, and another wide called by umpire Kapoor. Batten pinching a single as well. So both batsmen off the mark. It's a huge total that they're facing. That will do them both good to feel a bit of confidence there. And again, pinching another single, Alex Castle. Score moving in this first over. Comes in to complete it. The two men are out on the sweeper boundary and the third man. And Fullerton Batten's realised that. He's whacked that, and that has gone just one bounce four. He's almost got the six, just one. Yeah, we make that one to come, but the overs have. It's all right. The umpires have called over, unfortunately. So, a second miscount. Yeah, a couple of wides there, Rocky. Oh well, over has been called. There's still a bit of confusion, but good to be moved round. So over has been called, and over it is. There's one ball short, unfortunately, but for Hale Barns. Good start, 9 off the first over, and Fullerton Batten certainly had the right idea. Finding the gaps as Raza Mian going to come on and bowl from this Parswood end. He has a long off, that's James Micklethwaite, and Tom Bidwell way out at deep mid wicket. The two men out in this first 6 overs. So Alex Castle on strike. Right arm. It's off spin, but it's been called no ball by umpire Kapoor at square leg, and it's gone for 4. Looks a little harsh for me, but a no ball and 4 runs. So not the start that Raza Mian will have wanted, of course. Free hit now for Alex Castle. So let's see what he tries to do. He comes down the pitch. Might have been stumped anyway. He can't be stumped off. He can't be out off a free hit. And the Didsbury fielders are celebrating like he's out. But it was a free hit. It was called no ball, and there's some confusion out here in the middle, because umpire Kapoor clearly called no ball at square leg, We got a signal from umpire Goldston, and that cannot be out. No, so we've got the right decision in the end, but a rather messy period of play there. But it is clearly called no ball. Castle had a swing. All we can't tell from here, it looked as though he probably was stumped and appeared to be given out stumped. The umpires must have forgotten. That's gone down the leg side. He's tried to paddle it. It's gone to short, fine leg for a single. Is it just one? Yeah, he's got some bat on it. It's 1 run. The second legitimate ball of the over, so it scores 15. Now, let's just hope we can get some composure back in the middle. A bit of an untidy start all round. Just a 5-ball over in the first over. Now a bit of confusion. And the Fullerton batter was not quite ready there. I'd have pulled away. He was still looking down as Mian came into bowl and decided to play the ball. I'd have pulled away. But he chose not to, defended it. And that's a full toss. Oh, he's cracked that. Goodness me, straight at Jason Jeffrey at mid-wicket. That was going like a rocket. You heard the crack probably at home off the bat. But no run, goodness me. That's very well fielded again this time, just defended out. Fullerton batting, clearly realising he's got to try and find a boundary in these first 6 overs with just 2 men out. But, that side, that's shorter, that's wide. He's hit it as well. He could have done with leaving that really. He's only got 1 for it, clothed it down to short, fine leg. So, yes, we've got over this time. We all agree on that. Good. So, 16 for none off 2 overs. We just had 14 off their first 2, so Hale Barns can take some encouragement from that. Just ignore that batting order, by the way, that's on your screen. That is not necessarily confirmed by any means. That just comes up on our programme. We'll see who comes in next. I suspect Hale Barns will move it around a bit depending on the needs of the situation. It's going to be Laker to bowl and Fullerton batten on strike. And with the 2 men back, 3rd man and sweeper on the cover point boundary. So plenty of space out of the 30-yard circle. I'm sure he'll be aware of that. He's got a bat on it. He's chipped that up in the air. And that's Hastings at mid-wicket. So no run. See Jason Jeffrey there mid-on, still holding his hand from that previous delivery. He stopped an absolute shell. That's nudged down to 3rd man. That's one of the fielders there. That's Max Backhouse, I think, down there. Probably see him bowling a little later. So the score moves on to 17. Castle on strike, and Laker in hold him, good length, and he's cut that nicely. He's got past James Micklethwaite at backward point, and Tom Bidwell. A great diving effort at the sweeper on the boundary, but couldn't prevent the 4. The outfield's so quick. And a nice shot from Alex Castle. He's clipping that, finding the gap. It's missing James Micklethwaite at backward point, and his second 4 takes the score to 21. Good start for Hale Barns. Pleased with this. Good take from Ryan Wilson, the Didsbury captain, behind the stumps, but batsman kept his foot behind the popping crease. There's Laker in again, good full length, and I think he's going to get 4. That's just too fine. So 4 runs for Alex Castle. Quite where he'd have wanted it, but no matter, 4 runs the result. He's on to 15, and Hale Barns' bright start continues. 25. Already. Delighted with that. Slaker in to finish the over. And that's just going to be one run, I think, pushed out there. Micklethwaite, the fielder. Coming round, yeah, just a single to finish the over. 10 runs from it, off that third over. Hale Barns 26. 4 on. Razameyan to continue. Didsbury 224 for 2 off their 20 overs. Huge total. We worked with us earlier. Couple of terrific partnerships for the first wicket between Ashir Khan and Marcus Fisher. 91 they put on. Fisher going on to 54, and then the big story of the innings, 126 for the third wicket in Jack Hastings and Jason Jeffrey. As that's come out and that's caught. That's the first wicket caught by Marcus Fisher down here at deep mid-on. Alex Castle perishing, trying to make the most of this power play with just 2 fielders out, but not quite timing it, and Marcus Fisher taking the catch there at mid-off. So a good night for him, I say, with that 50 earlier. And he continues, and this looks like Andrew Hopper going out to bat. That's correct, yeah, Andrew Hopper generally confirms that for me, the Hale Barns scorer. Tough evening for Andrew Hopper, 3 overs for 47 earlier, but he was not alone in getting the treatment. All the Hale Barns bowlers, apart from Castle himself, really suffered. They were the batsmen have crossed, so James Fullerton Batten is on strike to Razameyan, and he's clocked that out. Actually, I thought he found more of a gap than he has. They're going for 2. Hopper's going more to the danger end. He's just got himself in. Fullerton Batten, a great throw from Tom Bidwell out there. Not an arm to take on, as a rule. Fullerton Batten, just a desperate dive, just got himself in. Of course, Hale Barns have to take a few chances. To 28 now. Razameyan is in and nicely defended. Fullerton Batten, nothing he can do with that. It's Jack Hastings. From his 95, not out earlier. He's in at short cover, just out of your shot. It's near the artificial pitch for those that know their ground here at Didsbury. And this has been a much better over for Didsbury. 3 dot balls, with the wicket being one of them. Just 2 runs conceded so far. This is more like it for Razameyan. But Fullerton Batten there making the most of that, just down the leg side. He's going to go for 2. It's a long boundary down there. And hi. So to Paul Horton, who's dropped in, his former Lancashire and Leicester captain Paul. He lives down in Didsbury. Good to see him down here. Retired from professional cricket now, I believe. Razameyan finishes a very tidy over, just 4 off it and a wicket. So that will settle Didsbury down. As Hale Barns move to 30 of the 4 overs that have been bowled. Loss of 1 wicket. Alex Castle, I beg your pardon, I keep calling him Andrew. Yeah. Tennis players mixed up here. And this is going to be Jack Hastings, the chief super. He's going to have a bowl. Ball's off the wrong foot, Jack. But it's a decent pace, and I'm sure we'll try and test Andrew Hopper. He's going to face his first ball here. So Hastings in, slightly off the wrong foot, and Hopper has clipped that away. But Tom Bidwell is out on the deep cover boundary, the sweeper, as it's more commonly known, and just keeps it to a single. James Fullerton batting on strike. It's leg side boundary. Anything short if he can, but that's done him outside the off stump. And with Wilson standing up as he does to so many bowlers, so very well actually around, it's very difficult for the batsman. They know there's no margin for error with the back foot. Just defended away, single. Nicely done, James Micklethwaite coming in smartly from backward point. Timely start for Hastings. Hopper back on strike. The third man and sweeper on the boundary. And out. So he's gone for the big shot, but he's put that straight up in the air. Ryan Wilson has come round and caught it. So on the second wicket, Andrew Hopper trying to find that shorter leg side boundary. Shorter ball, but perishing there, just going straight up in the air really, and Ryan Wilson coming around to take a comfortable catch. And Hopper departs for 1. And second wicket at 32. And we've got Junaid Iqbal coming in now, but he will not be on strike. The batsman crossed, so James Fullerton Batten facing. Junaid, who had a tough time with the ball earlier. Just ball 1 over. Started well, 2 dots, and then had a bit of a horror show, and ended up going for 28 off his only over. So he'll be hoping to put that right with the bat, make amends for it at least, as best he can. He's going to have to watch this 5th ball of the over. So Hastings comes in, Fullerton Batten. On strike is hit. Sliding down the leg side in the opinion of umpire Kapoor. Not a very convincing appeal from Didsbury either, but they'll take the dot ball. Keep Hale Barns at 32 for 2 in this ball of the over. Once again he's gone for that and been given this time. A bit more confidence about that appeal. And umpire Kapoor agrees with that assessment. So 2 wickets in the over for Hastings. He can do no wrong. It's a double wicket maiden, is it? Goodness me. So if 95 off 42 balls wasn't enough, now starts with sorry, not a double wicket maiden at all, 2 for 2 of course. There was the 2 runs earlier in the over. Getting a bit ahead of myself, but 3 wickets now in the power play. 32 for 3 off 5 overs, and already a very, very difficult task for Hale Barns. It's all but impossible now. The required rate nearly 13. They're behind on DLS by almost 30 runs as well. And it is getting a little bit dark. It won't affect us tonight, DLS particularly, but it shouldn't anyway, but it is in use in this competition. Anyway, we're going to see Max Backhouse coming into bowl. The last over of the power play. Razamian 2 overs, 1 for 11. Backhouse replacing him. And it'll be Junaid Iqbal's first ball. So, as I say, a tough time for Junaid with the ball earlier, so he'll be hoping nice little innings together here. They might as well just play the Hale Barns batsman, and he's got to go a few overs without losing any wickets. But that's a nice start as well. Dug it out. It was partly stopped by Hastings at short cover. Couldn't prevent one, and then a throw from Ashir Khan has been misfielded, so they've got 2 in the end. Hastings in at short cover, just out of your shot, and he got a hand on that, deflected it away. Like he got hold of it well, and Iqbal has been bowled. Oh dear. He got caught in what Old England coach Kenny Barrington would call 2-man's land. Was going to cut, then he was going to leave, and in the end, so the off bail removed, and a bit of a procession now for the Hale Barns batsman. That's the 4th wicket in the last 14 balls. And when you're chasing any sort of total, losing wickets in a cluster like this puts so much pressure on the incoming batsman. I think we've got the captain coming in. Charlie's just going to confirm that, I think. Just confirm that. It doesn't look like Wiley to me. Just going to confirm. I'm going to go for Willis here. I think this looks like Willis. Has he got? I'm going to go with Andrew Willis as the new batsman. Just have a look, just double check. The left-hander. Definitely Andrew Willis, so that's fine. So he comes to the crease. One's 4 down, and it is getting a lot dark here. I don't know what it looks like on your screens at home, but the sunshine is long gone. There's quite a bank of cloud coming in that we can see. It's away to the top right of your screen, that area it's coming from.
Go back.
And, dark, a little threatening. We need 12 overs to constitute a match in this competition, I believe. So Didsbury will want to get a move on just to make doubly sure. So no result, I believe, results in a replay. Should we get to that stage? So something for Didsbury to think about as Backhouse comes in to finish the over. And Willis has cut that one away through the gap, and he's going to get 4. That last ball, he's dotted his first 3, but then found the gap very nicely there, one just a bit short, and he's hit that beautifully. So takes Hale Barns to 38 for 4 after their power play, and you can see the difference on the screen. Didsbury didn't really motor in their power play. They were 57 for none, which was a good start, but not really express. Good solid start in T20 terms. But Hale Barns with an absolute monster task. Still require 187 runs off 14 overs. Don't think that's going to happen somehow. But we'll certainly want to bat their overs out and put some pride into the performance. It was always going to be a very difficult task for the Division 2 outfit coming to Premier Division Didsbury, who've been in decent form this season. A very strong team out tonight as well. And as I say, with both sides having their first T20 experience of the season, it was always going to be a tall order. Hale Barns lost the toss, had to field first, evening gentlemen. First a huge score. And this is Sanjeev Bhatia on strike, another left-hander, and he's flipped that one away down to fine leg. That's a single off the first ball of the over. There's Jack Hastings coming around the wicket to the 2 left-handers. A slightly awkward looking action, but effective. Willis again, just defending stoutly. And they might as well just try and build a partnership, these two, and see where they can get to. Forget about the needed total at the moment. They've just got to stop this clatter of wickets. That's pushed out into the offside. Matthew Laker fielding, and that's a bit untidy from Didsbury. Only a single. Tom Bidwell paying attention, thankfully. It's deep back square leg. He came right the way in, Tom. Don't like to see that sort of untidiness. Anyway, Hastings has bowled very full, and Bhatia not quite sure what had happened to that. It's squeezed out from underneath his bat. Razami and the fielder just in your shot there. Very unusual sort of position, deep slip really. That's down the leg side, and that's going to be possibly 5 wides. I can't see the ball from my scorebox, but it's 5 wides. So 5 on the total to take it up to 45. It's definitely getting a bit thundery. That feel about it is. Finch is a single on the leg side. Back has the fielder. Charlie's shaking his head next to me. He doesn't think so. I think that is. I think it's gone very dark. And you might hear he agrees with me now. So, it does seem thunderish to me. And, well, that really is a spanner in the ointment for Didsbury. We've got to get another 5 overs in before we've had a game. And when you said DLS was probably not going to be needed tonight, it becomes very relevant. Didsbury way ahead on that score, of course, at the moment. But they've got to get these other next 5 overs in to be sure. And they will want to get through them as quick as possible. At least I would be doing. It's pink ball making life easier for all the players. I don't know how that's showing up on your screens, but it's much easier for everyone to be playing with, certainly in this sort of light. It's very different from when Didsbury were batting. So Battier again, facing up. Oh, he's bowled him around his legs. Oh. Battier propping forward and too far across. Bowled around his legs. That's the 5th Hale Barns wicket. It's a little bit of a procession for them. It's 46 for 5 now, their score. Still 179 runs away from a pretty much impossible task in the first place. Khalid Winter, the wicket keeper, comes to the crease. So after our first wicket partnership of 26, they've now lost 5 for 20 in the last 4 overs, and that's sealed the game as far as the result goes, you would think. But as I say, this light, thundery type of weather could just put a spanner in the ointment for Didsbury. Let's see if the batsmen work that out, start taking the time a little bit. I would. Top ball. I must say, cricketers aren't renowned for knowing all the rules and regs, so I shan't be giving anything away. And Winter having a good swing there. He's got that out into the gap, but James Micklethwaite is down there at deep mid wicket. And Didsbury happy for the batsman to take a single. That's not going to hurt. So it really is now just a question of getting to 12 overs, making sure we have a match tonight. Backhouse won't take very long through these overs. Willis has paddled him around the corner. That's Ed Catt. We'll probably see bowling shortly as well. He'll get through the overs quickly. Another single. It's right hand, left hand. Fielder swapping around again. A little bit of time being taken up with that. Winter just taking his time, quite rightly, having a look. There's Backhouse in again, and that's been shovelled out to deep mid wicket where Tom Bidwell fields. So just a single again, and 3 off the over. Good over from Max Backhouse. 2 for 9 for him now from 2 overs. Very tidy. Hope you didn't hear that. The umpire's just checking. Unless they're counting again. The young Charlie, we had over. So there's the Hale Barns card. 49 for 5. And like I say, the game now really revolving around another 4 overs being bowled. And as I said earlier, we would see the cat. He's going to bowl head cat. Left arm around the wicket. Head cat going to bowl. He's got a slip in as well. There's a man there. Just having a look round. He's got 3 men out on the leg side. Deep square leg. Hashir Khan. Hastings at deep mid wicket. So, looks like Jason Jeffrey down at long on. As Winter slaps the ball out to Tom Bidwell on the cover boundary for a single. 50 up for Hale Barns. So just like to see them just bat through and build a good partnership here. They're not going to get bowled out for a very low score. Just might as well try and bat through, keep Didsbury out there, get some confidence. I also enjoy playing on a very good pitch, very good ground, lovely ground to bat on. And just take the game as deep as they can. That's all they need to do. Yes. Willis pushes to Jeffrey, coming in at mid on. Oops. And a little bit of a kerfuffle there as Winter was nearly hit by the throw, but all's well. A single for Willis. Goes on to 7. Winter now. Looks like that's his game. Trying to clear the clubhouse, and then can't blame him. Tempting boundary. Ed Cat is never scared of bowling to the shorter boundary. He likes to tempt the batsman, take them on. And it's a very effective bowler, very aggressive attacking bowler. Bowling tidily this season. He just concedes a single there, so just 3 off this over. He'll be quite happy with that. And changes around for the left-hander. Not sure we've got enough men in the circle. We have. And scuffed miss hit there from Willis. Ends the over, just 3 from it. 9 gone, 52 for 5. The Hale Barns score. The game long since gone, but these 3 overs need to be bowled quickly. As the light has definitely got much darker. You agree, Charlie? Yeah, Charlie agrees with me. Feed at the Didsbury bowling figures. Just come up there as Max Backhouse comes in to bowl. No run there for Winter. There's Cat, the fielder at backward point. Oh, and that's a top edge, just falling short of Matthew Laker. Short fine leg. That's going to take a single, but that's fine. It's all pretty immaterial now. They did an absolute flurry of boundaries, Hale Barns, to cause any changes in the Didsbury approach. Didsbury know it's just a question of getting through the overs, getting to 12. Backhouse, very difficult to hit. Very canny operator. This is 6th dot ball in this 3rd over. Just 1 boundary, 2 wickets. And again, dot 1, dot, dot this over. Very useful player to have in any of the Didsbury sides. I think he saw Willis come in and just held it back a little bit. Willis threw the shot before the ball had arrived. And it was terrific over. Last ball, a quicker one, a shorter one as well. He's mowed it a little bit, and that's gone for 4. So, Backhouse trying something different, but not working out. It's gone for 4. Willis hit it well. Hastings couldn't stop it. And a welcome boundary for Hale Barns. It's their first one in 4 overs. You can see the run rate comparison. Not really with serious consideration. There's such a big gap, as we suspected there probably would be. But Hale Barns have got through 10 overs, 57 for 5. Let's just see if these two can put a partnership together. Well, Winter is still trying to hit. Matthew Laker's underneath this and has caught it as easy as you like at mid-off. He didn't even have to move. Winter going for the boundary, and Matthew Laker, as I say, not even moving. Out mid-off to take the catch in the 6th Hale Barns wicket. With 57 on the board. So we have Yunus Saeed coming in to join Andrew Willis, who got on strike. As the batsman crossed. So we should get ourselves through to the valid game situation now. As I say, it has got decidedly darker. It's almost like a sort of 9 o'clock light this rather than 8 o'clock in the evening as it is. That's a nice shot from Willis. We were right behind that. He got hold of it and put it over Max Backhouse at mid-wicket for 4. It's got the right amount of elevation on it. That was in the slot. And 4 for Willis. His 3rd boundary. He's 15 off 16 now. And let's see if he can bat through. That's done nicely. Just chip that out into the leg side. Bidwell, the fielder, coming in off the deep mid-wicket boundary. One more run on the total. Take it to 62. Didsbury had motored into the 90s at this stage, and of course it was carnage in the last 8 overs. Didsbury took 121. Off the last 8 overs of their innings, as Hastings and Jeffrey combined so effectively. I think that would take out most teams in the competition and decide most matches, let alone the first round one. Fantastic acceleration for them now and just showing what's possible. Stratton again, Eunice is going to, again, looks like a man who can give it some humpty. Has to settle for 1 run there though. Just flatten it a little bit. Ashier getting a shout from Jack Hastings to wake up and get in the circle because the left-handers on strike. Ashier coming into point as Willis strokes that out for a single. Jason Jeffrey, the fielder at mid-off, and so we're through 11 overs now. 64 for 6. So just 1 more over needed to constitute a match. Didsbury in complete control as they have been pretty much throughout. Max Backhouse going to roll his final over. 2 for 14 of his 3. 9 dot balls, so an over and a half of dots effectively from Max. Comes in, balls to Willis, and can only add to that dot tally. Jason Jeffrey, the fielder. He's gone for a big shot. There's 2 men out, and that's missed them all and thumped into here. That's 6 umpire. Yeah, we can see that from here. Thumped into somebody's gear down there. Thankfully, there's a few spectators gathered around enjoying the drink in the evening, but missed all of them. Nice shot though from Willis. And he's pushed that one out for a single to deep cover. Tom Bidwell is the fielder. There's Yunus Saeed on strike. Oh! It's groping forward. Beaten, but safely in his ground as Ryan Wilson appealed. And again. Just couldn't read the length of the delivery. So 2 dots, the last ball of Max Backhouse's spell. He's clumped down the ground for a single. Is that Marcus down there? Can't see. Yes, it is. Looks like Marcus down there. It is Marcus. And there's a single off the last ball of the 12th over. So we now have a game. So Titbury can breathe much more easily. As their players just sanitise their hands quickly, just out of shot. Thankfully this break not taking anything like the length of time. We saw some breaks taken. Didsbury in control. 2:24 for 2 their innings if you weren't with us earlier. Superb batting display from them. Bashir Khan and Marcus Fisher leading off with 91 for the opening wicket. Marcus Fisher gone up to 54 off 37 balls, and then Jack Hastings 95 off 42, combining with Jason Jeffrey, who scored 23 off 17 to put 126 on for the third wicket off 60 balls. 121 runs coming off the last 8 overs. As Didsbury powered past the 200s and set Hale Barns an impossible target, really. And they've a little bit of a forlorn air about them. Maybe a leg bye here, I think. We're going to get a leg bye, yes indeed. Charlie acknowledges the umpire's signal next to me. 26 for their first wicket. Hale Barns with a clatter has ensued. Now we've had 12 overs, we'll complete the game tonight, whatever. DLS way out of the equation. 147 with DLS power at the end of this over, to give you some idea. Andrew Willis has played well. He's 24 off 21, and so if he can see if he can bat through and find a few more. Yeah, he's clipped that nicely into the gap. He's only going to get. No, he's got 4. I thought he'd got power enough, but he timed it so well. It evaded the fielder at long on Matthew Laker quite comfortably in the end. Gave it up. 4 for Willis. Takes him to 28. It's 4th 4. That was a lovely shot. There's a huge gap there at mid-on, so there's absolutely no danger because it was an aerial shot. Found the gap nicely. And he's got a single. James Micklethwaite fielding at mid-wicket. Keeps it to 1. Spreads for Yunus Saeed, right-hander. Go for the boundary. He has done. He's swung that into the gap. I think he's found the gap as well. He has, between Hastings and Jeffrey. Deep mid-wicket. 4 runs. So nice over this. Equals the most profitable over for Hale Barns. They took 10 off the third over. And they've 10 already off this one. So they should better. That's the best over the innings for them. He's clipped that again. I think it's short of Jack Hastings though, deep mid wicket. And there'll just be a single for Yunus Saeed. And of the 13th over, 83 for 6. And these two, as you can see, have now added 26. 17 balls between them. That's a heartening little effort. And it looks like Raza Mayan is going to come back from this Parswood end. Matt Spackhouse bowled out. 4 overs, 2 for 22 for him. Very good spell. Spoilt it a little bit in the last over. But at least 2 dot balls in every over he bowled. Very good spell from him. Yeah, Raza Mayan, who's bowled 2 overs already. 1 for 11. And he's going to bowl to Yunus Saeed. Much bigger leg side boundary, and there's 2 men on it as well. So he's going to have to hit and choose the gaps. He's found the gap out there too. They've gone further than any got it. Just dribbled out to the edge of the 30-yard circle for a single. Head cap coming round fielding. It's getting a little bit harder to pick the ball up now as the very close feeling develops in the air. No more thunder. We've not had any more of that. We had a distant rumble a few overs ago. We're just just organising the field. Raza very precise about where he wants his fielders all the time. And Hashir in the right place to stop that in front of us at deep mid-wicket, just to keep that to a single. He's just been moved by Raza. And that's a good tidy effort from Didsbury in the field. I want to put in a good performance to back up the excellent batting. So that's a man in again, and that's going to be a wide, I think, is it? Yes, indeed. Wanted to hit that very hard, but ended up just chopping it almost into his stumps. This runs are in again, and that's had a lovely firm cover drive by Jack Hastings. He's been the man of the match. Tidy fielding there. Dot ball. This ball the 14th. This has given that a clump into leg side. Tom Bidwell picks up easily at deep mid wicket. Just a single. So 3 in the wide off the over. 87 for 6 off 14. And that's 1 for 15 for Raza. You can see Andrew Willis. Good innings of 30 not out. And that's also the value of the partnership him and Eunice Said have put on. She's just better for Hale Barns now. Maybe set themselves a little target just to try and maybe this last 6 overs. 140, 150 maybe, see if they can get up to that sort of total. We've got a change of bowler at the far end. Tom Bidwell is going to bowl. His first bowl of the evening. Cat having 3 overs, 1 for 20, and Tom from the Fletcher Moss end. Starting with a short one, it's gone straight up in the air, and he's going to get a wicket off his first ball with an easy caught and bowled. Yes, Eunice Said. Going for the big shot. But running a bit quicker than he thought, and just spooned it straight up in the air. So that's always a nice start for the bowler. Wicket off your first ball. Said departs for 9 or 15 balls, and that's the 7th Hale Barns wicket. Score 87. They have a new batsman. Now, is this Dunleavy? Yeah, this is Dunleavy. Ross Dunleavy coming in. He'll be the non-striker. The batsman crossed. The ball was in the air, so Andrew Willis will be on strike. And it'll be good to see him bat through. Organising the field. Max Backhouse moving to deep backward square leg. As Bidwell comes into bowl to Willis. Short again. And he's stumped. Oh, and he's not happy with the decision. Oops, careful young man, careful. Disgusted with the decision, Andrew Willis. Umpiring Goldstone. Just steady young man, please. Don't get yourself into trouble. He's stumped. Given out and needs to leave, and hopefully there'll be nothing more to be done about that. Swung the bat at the stumps, didn't connect. But, frustration evident on Andrew Willis's face. A good innings, 30 off 25 balls. He's getting a good round of applause from his teammates. He might be able to pick that up. Far and away the best we've seen from the Hale Barns batsman tonight. Charles Mills is going to replace him, and Tom Bidwell, somewhat improbably, is on a hat-trick. As the last knock-ins of the Hale Barns innings plays out. Bright green boots he's got on now. Fetching out there. There's Bidwell on a hat-trick, and he's bowled him. He's done it. He's bowled it. And Tom Bidwell, with a searing full delivery, has got a hat-trick. Nothing Charles Mills could do. That was quick. I think it dipped just a little bit, and Tom Bidwell getting the congratulations of his teammates, and that's a nice little achievement for Tom. Clean bowl, the batsman. First ball, a hat-trick for him, and the end almost nigh for Hale Barns. Very popular cricketer, Tom. Fine young man and a very good cricketer. He's growing in his captaincy as well, in charge of plenty of sides in his time here at Didsbury. Does a great job with the threes on a Sunday when he's playing for them, and he will have his eyes on repeating that previous ball for the last man coming in, Captain Jack Wiley. Very difficult night for Hale Barns, of course, and it has panned out very much as the form book indicated that it would. 87 for 9 after conceding 224 runs in 20 overs. As Wiley faces up, Bidwell taking a hat-trick. That's too short, and Wiley defends it. So yes, the match just drawing towards a conclusion. Bidwell in. That's down the leg side. I think that's gonna. Is that? Oh, it's wide. Yeah, it is wide. I thought it. I was not looking at the screen. I was actually looking at the action. It seemed for 1 minute as though he might have somehow spooned it off the back of the bat, but it's clearly down the leg side and called wide, rightly so. Umpire Parth Kapoor. Bidwell in again. As Wiley has found the gap there. There's a big gap at cover point, and I think as James Micklethwaite has stopped chasing that, he hit it so well. 4 runs for the captain. So Tom Bidwell's figure's ruined. 3 for 5 now. So sure he won't mind that too much at all. Always a great feeling to get a hat-trick for your side. And it comes, last ball of the over. Oh, it's not going to be the last ball of the over. It's another wide. So we'll have to try again. So Bidwell hopefully to finish the over now. Nearly finished the match. He nearly did, but missed the outside edge of Wiley's bat, so over bowled. And 15 have gone. It's 5 remaining. Didsbury bowling. Very tidy performance all round. I'm very happy with that. So we're going to have Raza to bowl his final over. 1 for 15 for him, as you just saw. And he's going to be bowling to Ross Dunleavy. He hasn't faced a ball yet. Watching everyone else come and go at the far end. Just taking his guard. We've only got 2 men out. No, 1 man out. He's a deep mid-wicket. Everyone else is up in the circle. Dunleavy has mowed that through to mid-wicket. Jason Jeffries parried it. James Micklethwaite picks it up and there's no run. It's 2 men back. Hashir, beg your pardon, is back here on Squalek. We'll chat with Rab. So yeah, just 2 men out. Razamian in. Dunleavy defending. Might as well try and hit a boundary or 2. See what he does with this 4th ball. Well, he's gone for the boundary that time, but he's found Hastings has parried it. Short cover, still got a single. Bashir stopping his conversation. Alert to the situation to field and just keep it to a single. That's Jack Wiley on strike, the Hale Barns captain. Picks out Hastings at short cover. No run there. It's quite it doesn't look it on your screen, but it's a tight infield within that 30-yard circle. Oh, and that's gone right through everybody. We're going to get 4 something here. I think this will be 4 byes. We'll see what signal we get from the umpire. We're going to get 4 runs. He got a bottom edge on it. So the batsman will be quite happy with that. 4 to Jack Wiley to end the over. Over 16, 98 for 9. Hale Barns score. And you can see the worm there again telling another story of just how that run rate climbed and was so consistently high from Didsbury to really put the game out of Hale Barns' reach by halfway. 4 overs to go. Tom Bidwell be open. It's just 1 ball to go if we can get this in the right place.
Nice and full, Tom.
Dunleavy.
Get it up there.
On strike. And that's down the leg side and a wide.
Done right.
Well, a few like that, Tom. Just too short and spearing down the leg side as well. This is 3rd wide. So I want to get this in the right spot. Short of a length again, but better line. Ends. In. And Ross Dunleavy gets that away. So, a single for him. As the Hale Barns 100 comes up. 100 for 9.
Nice and full, Bidders.
Well, once it's been academic, the total, but not to give it away. As Dunleavy craps that into a gap, and I think he's going to get a correction. Sorry, Jack Wiley. Beg your pardon, Jack. Found the gap beautifully there. Hit it deliberately on the up. Aimed for the gap, found the gap. 4 runs, the result, and a nice shot from the Hale Barns captain. He's into double figures now. It's the 4th Hale Barns player into double figures. 12 for him. There's Bidwell in again. Oh, and that's off the edge, and he's found the gap again, and I think he's going to get another 4. It's a bit far away for us to see, but yes, indeed. Not as convincing, but again, nicely. I'm sure he was aware of that and roughly aiming for that gap that he found. A little more slice, but nonetheless, still 4 runs the result. Good shot in the end for Jack Wiley. Up to 16 now. As Bidwell comes in. Slower ball and oof. batsman a little befuddled. Now I make that over. Oh. Well, we've got a bit of a discrepancy here in the scorebox. Yeah, we had that. But I've got 6 there. Anyway. Let's try. He's gone 6. He's got hold of that. That's going to be 6. Oh, is it? No, just 4. Just short of the boundary. 4 runs. Made that an extra ball. But whatever. It's 4 runs. And the end of the 17th over. 112 for 9 as Jack Wiley moves to 20 off just 9 balls. And that the most profitable over of the innings, actually. 14 coming off it for Hale Barns. That's the best over they've had in terms of runs scored. All too late now, of course, but nonetheless, heartening end for them. A little bit of something to take as Ed Catt comes back into the attack. He's switched ends now. He's from the Parswood end. Ross Dunleavy, Hale Barns number 9. Just organising his field. Jason Jeffrey coming across, just going through this shot there. He's a backward point, Jason Jeffrey. It's just a man out on the deep mid-wicket boundary. This is hit. It's to mid, off and caught by Marcus Fisher, and that's the game over. So Marcus Fisher catching the first batsman and also the last wicket to fall as Hale Barns are all out. For 112, and Didsbury have won by 112 runs. A comprehensive victory for them. Through a fantastic batting performance, 224 for 2. They scored with Jack Hastings, magnificent 95 not out off just 42 balls. 2 off his first 6 balls, so 93 off 36 effectively. And he combined with Jason Jeffrey to add 126 for the 3rd wicket off just 60 balls. For an earlier opening partnership of 91 for the 1st wicket between Ashir Khan and Marcus Fisher, who also got 54. Set Didsbury well on their way. And as we said, Fisher 2 catches, first and last wickets of the Hale Barns innings, which totaled 112, with Andrew Willis the top scorer with 30. He was not happy to be given out stumped, but that the only real crumb of comfort. Jack Wiley be happy with his 20 not out at the end. Some nice shots. Hit 5 4s, all in boundaries, and some very nice shots there he played. But the Didsbury attack dominant. Tom Bidwell a hat-trick, 3 for 20. And 2 wickets each for Ed Catt, Max Backhouse and Jack Hastings. Easily the man of the match. 1 for Razamian. As Didsbury wrapped up a comprehensive 112 run win here at Wilmslow Road this evening. Hope you've enjoyed the stream and the commentary. It's been good to have you watching. And look out for the next game being shown up on the website. I believe our ones are at home tomorrow night, and there'll probably be some live feed action for them. But for now, it's thank you for joining us and good evening from James Emerson, the scorer for Didsbury. Charlie Glazebrook alongside me for Hale Barns. And we've been doing our best to keep you up to date